The streets of the Bronx in the 1940s were far from glamorous, but for a young Al Pacino, they were home. Born in New York City on April 25, 1940, Al Pacino's early life was not one of privilege. Raised in a small apartment with his mother, Rose, and his grandparents, Pacino's upbringing was one of modest means. His father, who left the family when he was just 2 years old, did not play a role in his life, and it was his mother who would become his primary influence. Despite the challenges of growing up in a tough neighborhood, Pacino would later describe his childhood as one that instilled in him a deep sense of ambition, resilience, and an inner fire to make something of himself. His early years were not spent with a clear focus on acting. He had an interest in art and considered being a painter at one point, but his life would take a sharp turn when he discovered the world of theater. The magic of storytelling on stage captivated him, and he quickly realized that acting was the avenue through which he could express himself and pursue his passion. The path would not be easy, however. Pacino struggled with self-doubt and lacked the confidence many other actors had, but his persistence paid off when he enrolled at the prestigious Actors Studio in New York, where he would study under the guidance of legendary teachers like Lee Strasberg. His time at the Actors Studio marked the beginning of his transformation from a struggling young man into a major talent in the entertainment world. It was in the early 1970s that Al Pacino's career took a significant leap forward when he was cast in Francis Ford Coppola's The Godfather, 1972. Pacino had previously appeared in several stage productions, including his breakout role in The Indian Wants the Bronx, but it was The Godfather that would cement his place in Hollywood history. Casting Pacino in the role of Michael Corleone, the reluctant son of mafia boss Vito Corleone, was a controversial decision at the time. Pacino was relatively unknown to the public, and many were skeptical about his ability to play such a complex and powerful character. Yet in his portrayal of Michael, Pacino delivered a performance that would become one of the defining portrayals in film history. His subtlety, intensity, and ability to convey Michael's internal transformation from a young war hero to a ruthless mafia boss were groundbreaking. The film was a monumental success, and Pacino was quickly hailed as one of Hollywood's most talented actors. His performance earned him his first Academy Award nomination, and though he would not win, The Godfather would change the trajectory of his career forever. In the years following The Godfather, Pacino would go on to star in a series of roles that solidified his reputation as one of the most versatile and intense actors of his generation. From his performance as the tragic, anti-heroic Tony Montana in Scarface, 1983, to the emotionally charged role of Lieutenant Colonel Frank Slade in Scent of a Woman, 1992, Pacino's ability to immerse himself in his characters and bring them to life with such raw emotion became his signature. Scarface, in particular, became a cultural touchstone, especially among the Latino and hip-hop communities. Though the film initially received mixed reviews, its status as a cult classic only grew over time. Pacino's portrayal of Tony Montana, an ambitious Cuban immigrant who rises to power in the world of organized crime, became iconic. Tony Montana became a symbol of defiance, ambition, and excess. For many, the character represented the American dream gone wrong, ruthless, unchecked, and ultimately tragic. The film's themes of power, materialism, and moral decay continue to spark debates about whether it was a cautionary tale or an anthem for the very excesses it depicted. Despite his success, Pacino was not immune to controversy. In 2018, he took on the role of Joe Paterno in HBO's Paterno, which explored the infamous Penn State child abuse scandal. The film, based on a true story, centered on the fall of Paterno, the legendary football coach whose reputation was shattered when it was revealed that one of his assistants, Jerry Sandusky, had been molesting young boys. The film focused on a crucial 2-week period in 2011 when Paterno's legacy came crashing down. Pacino's portrayal of Paterno captured the complexity of a man torn between his love for the sport and his knowledge of the growing scandal. The film raised difficult questions. How much did Paterno know? Could he have done more to prevent the abuse? Or was he simply part of a system that failed to act? Critics praised Pacino for his nuanced performance, showing Paterno's internal conflict, but the film itself left many viewers divided. Some saw Paterno as a scapegoat, while others believed he was complicit in the crimes. The film did not take sides, but instead forced viewers to make their own judgment. This ambiguity mirrored the real-world debates that followed Paterno's firing and death. For Pacino, it was another example of how he was willing to take on challenging, controversial roles that forced him to explore complex human emotions and moral dilemmas. In 2013, Pacino took on another controversial role in Phil Spector, where he portrayed the infamous music producer who was accused of murdering actress Lana Clarkson. The film, like Paterno, did not focus on the legal battle itself, but rather on Spector's deteriorating mental state and his attempts to control his narrative in the face of public scrutiny. Pacino's performance as the eccentric and paranoid Spector was both unsettling and captivating as he navigated a character whose genius was overshadowed by his criminal behavior. In his personal life, Pacino's path was not always as clear-cut as his professional one. Despite high-profile relationships with actresses Diane Keaton, Beverly D'Angelo, and Kathleen Quinlan, Pacino never married. He remained a lifelong bachelor, a decision he later reflected on in his 2024 memoir, Sonny Boy. He explained that his fear of commitment, particularly shaped by the pain of his own father abandoning him, had prevented him from ever taking the step toward marriage. His relationship with Diane Keaton, which began on the set of The Godfather, became one of Hollywood's most famous love stories. Yet, it ultimately ended due to his inability to commit. Pacino revealed that Keaton had given him an ultimatum in 1990, either marry her or the relationship would end. He chose to let her go. In 2023, at the age of 83, Pacino shocked the world by becoming a father once again. His partner, Noor Al-Fallah, who was 29, gave birth to their son, Roman Pacino. He had already fathered 3 children from previous relationships, twins Anton James and Olivia Rose with Beverly D'Angelo, and Julie Marie with acting coach Jan Tarrant. But this late in life, fatherhood brought new challenges. Despite the 54-year age gap between him and Al-Fallah, Pacino embraced his new role as a father and shared that becoming a parent again, at his age, had changed him profoundly. At 83, I thought I'd never be a father again, he said in an interview. But life surprises you, and Roman has brought a new perspective to my life, a new sense of purpose. His father's abandonment had haunted him throughout his life, but he was determined not to repeat that cycle with his own children. Despite personal struggles, Pacino continued to act. In 2021, he starred in House of Gucci, portraying the ruthless businessman Aldo Gucci. But it's his upcoming projects that have left fans and critics eagerly awaiting his next move. He will star in Modi, a film about the Italian artist Amedeo Modigliani, directed by Johnny Depp, and in The Ritual, a horror film based on real-life exorcisms, due to be released in 2025. These projects, along with others, prove that Pacino's passion for storytelling remains as strong as ever. Even at 84, Al Pacino continues to pursue his craft with the same intensity and drive that first propelled him into the limelight. His career is a testament to his resilience and unwavering commitment to his art. But his journey has not only been about the roles he's played or the accolades he's received, it's been about personal growth and self-discovery. Acting saved my life, he often says. And here I am, still going, still learning, still telling stories. As the camera pans out on Pacino standing in front of the city skyline, one thing is clear: Al Pacino is not just an actor. He's a storyteller who has shaped and been shaped by the world he inhabits. Whether on screen or off, his journey continues to inspire those who dare to dream big, face their fears, and tell their own stories.